Sean Payton makes it look easy in the Big Easy. He's at the podium.
I thought, real quick, I thought, obviously it was a good team win. We did a lot of things well tonight that, statistically we talk about. And, you're always adjusting and getting used to the short week schedule when you're at home, the short week schedule when you're on the road. We talked all week about a fast start. I thought they handled the mental part of it relative to it's just easy to complain on a short week, and then pretty soon no one really cares. So I thought our preparation for those 2 days was good. I didn't want to go through all the stats with them, but first half leads, I've said this, I think I said it to you guys, fare better for those teams. And then, I think for me, I know I wasn't going to tell them that, my teams are us. We were 5-0 with the lead and 0-5 when we didn't have one. That's the last thing I wanted to mention to them. But I thought we ran the ball well, of course. Defensively, man, we had pressure. They're nicked up. I told DA get healthy because they have a good football team, and there are a lot of their players right now weren't able to play. So, but overall, pleased with how we played.
Even though they're nicked up, there's no feeling sorry for teams in the NFL, is there?
No, listen, it's just the business we're in. You just play. You have injuries. It's really the truth. No one else outside the building, cares. They just, at the end of the day, they want to see the end result, and I understand it.
The broadcast showed you receiving the game ball. What did that mean to you?
Meant a lot. I think, fortunately, and I say this respectfully, it was just 2 days of prep, and we're here, and so not a lot of sleep, and so it kind of, I think, it keeps your mind off of it because there's so many things you have to get done. And my big concern was just not having enough rest. And so I slept today for a while and then came over here early just to kind of get started going through the game plan again. But it meant a lot because, there were a lot of, moments here. And you get a chance to see old players that are, that are here. And then to be with this team and this ownership group, it's the reason you miss it. The 1 year out, and you miss relationships, and you miss making memories. It's like I told him a couple weeks ago. Surtan's interception, right in front of our bench. There'll be a day when I don't remember his name, and I'm having applesauce out of a straw, but I'll remember that play. And so that part of it, being around young people and having a chance to be part of their journey and coach them is a pretty good job, and I'm thankful for it. So it was kind of emotional.
Sean, how different was it just walking in this building, driving up and all?
Well, this building's changed over the years. One time, I think, I was an assistant with the Cowboys. We played here. The locker room used to be, you used to walk across the field. I'd never really been in the visitors' locker room here. And it's all been, again, renovated. Every time they have a Super Bowl here, there's modifications. So it was definitely, I'm glad I was here early, like 6 hours before the game early, and just had plenty of time to grab some coffee and but I think what happened here, and I'm going all the way back in 2005, before any of us had arrived, a lot changed with that city, and I think more than any one of us, any player, any coach that was a part of the 06 and on, it was bigger than football. There were schools, hospitals not open. There were a lot of things that were up in the air, and And so you appreciate those people that came when they didn't necessarily have to. And I think that was a unique time and a unique, none of us were prepared for that. You know, we were all anxious and excited about our new job opportunities, but none of us understood what it would mean and how big it would become. So I think that part of it coming back here is different and kind of special.
Was it even more emotional that Drew was here on the night they're honoring?
Yeah, I was look, he you know, long before, when the game came out, is the night that he wanted to come in. They have a Hall of Fame, and then they have, you know, a ring of honor. So he was being put in the Hall of Fame, and so it was good to see him. I mean, we had a chance, Streep, a few of us, like really quick went over to the Hilton and just thanked him. We were all kind of underdressed in our travel sweats. This is a city that dresses up a lot. And but it's always good to see him. I feel like we've seen each other quite a bit. He's been to our practices, you know, and so, but anytime you see that whole group, you know, even pregame, you know, yapping a little bit at us, that was fun.
Do you ever think that, you know, with it being 8 years in between visits and you're in the AAC, that this could be the last time you ever coach in this place?
I don't think it's the last time I'm ever going to coach in this place. Yeah. This is the last team I hadn't beaten.
You talked about getting off to a fast start. How important was it getting off to a fast start, running the ball, and how good was Javonte Williams tonight?
Man, he had to have been good. I didn't see all the numbers, but we actually were going to come out throwing early, mixing in the run, the read option, some of the RPOs. Man, Bo did a real good job. We got a penalty called on one that I've just never, it was an impossible penalty. He threw the ball to Bailey in 0.5 seconds, and they called someone downfield. It can't happen. I mean, it's just an impossibility. But anyway, I thought.
So, Sean Payton, making some history, becomes the 7th head coach to defeat all 32 current franchises. The longtime Saints coach led New Orleans to its first and only Super Bowl title in 2009. Comes back, facing his former team for the first time, and gets the victory in the Superdome.